Just to remind you why this whole communication team came about and where this comes from. The Synod proposed that Church Council urgently engages with a communication specialist to investigate shortcomings, opportunities, and new ways of internal and external church communications, and to implement changes accordingly using the available resources. So after Synod, really actually in the beginning of this year, a lot of work was done thanks to Erica, who was the driving force behind this, that we really get going. And this team came together and yeah, we've walked away. Every meeting, every week on the first on the Monday, then on the Wednesday. And finally, we are here today to celebrate, because I think we do have reason to celebrate, and we should celebrate. And there are different things that we want to celebrate today. And I want to introduce to you also Erica Gantholz as the new media officer and secretary to the bishop. Her main role is that of media officer, communicating, and her brief from my side as chairperson of the communication team is to irritate the congregations, to really pester them to get out information, to see that all the details are correct, to get little news information, and that so that we can communicate it into the bigger church. And how that communication is going to happen, that's what we want to look at this morning. And before we look at what is coming, what is new, what is being launched, we need to start to also just reflect on the past. So in the past, this was the logo that was designed for the 500-year Reformation celebration. I think it was still Chris Yule that just put it on the letterhead. And the logo is quite busy, a lot of colors, a lot of text, and a lot of people didn't understand it also. And so we had to come up with something new. Then, shortly after that synod, when the web page back then was redesigned, the following logo was used, and that's what's been used since 2017. And then also on the website, it is a multi-language that appears with the Cape Church, Kapkirche, Kaapse, and all three languages that we use in our church in which church services are held, and also the languages of the congregation. So now we come to the new logo, and we're going to do it in little steps. So it all starts with the heart in the middle, as the watchword for this year reminds us also that everything, that we do everything in love. In other words, it begins with love, it ends with love, and it's God's love for us, God's love that flows through us. That's why the heart is in the center. The next part of a new logo is the cross. The cross that reminds us of what Christ has done for us. It reminds us also of one of the core theologies of the Lutheran Church, the theology of the cross, and that the cross plays a central role in our theology. The next part that forms around the logo is that of a rose. Traditionally it's white, but this is more in a gold color. And for me, the rose reminds us first of all what God has done for us through Jesus, and that we have peace and joy. But the rose also binds everything together, it holds everything together, reminding us that we belong together as Lutherans to the Cape Church. So the congregations, the members of the congregations, we're a bigger family, we belong together. Then the next part of the logo that comes in are the leaves of the Luther rose. And you'll note that these are a bit more pointy, pointing outwards. First of all, the green leaves remind us that we need to go out. that it's part of our mission to go out, our calling to go out, to spread the gospel, to share the gospel through word and deed. But also the green leaves remind us then of the hope and the growth opportunities also that we have as a church. And then again, the logo comes together with the cross. So that's the new logo of the Cape Church. And I'll say something a bit more in detail just now about the colors. And that brings us then to the next slide, which is the full logo with the name and the slogan. So we as a pilot committee have discussed the name at length. The official long name still remains, but on our branding, the branding name that we use is Cape Lutheran Church. And the slogan for which we proposed and we all agreed upon on different forums is by grace alone. And that brings me now to the colors. Traditionally, the cross should be black and the heart red. In modern days, this doesn't work well. The darkest blue and the softer red breaks the contrast. The outer blue cross rounds it off. The heart is also in a softer shape. And as I said just now, traditionally for the rose, we use a white rose, but here the yellow frame encloses the rose more. It stands also off better if you use the logo in black and white. Then the green leaves symbolize hope and growth, as I said just now. And what you'll see from now on is, as we go through the branding, these green leaves actually flow through a lot of the things on the branding and the colors as well as we go on. So, just to give you the current slide then that is showing is the logo, Cape Lutheran Church by grace alone, with the full name beneath it, Evangelical Lutheran Church of Southern Africa, in brackets, Cape Church. I want to then continue just with the slogan. As I've said just now, the slogan is by grace alone. That's one of the core theologies for us as a church. And we've decided that it's all by God's grace, and that is something that we want to promote and is important to us as a communication team. Then there are also other designs which is more aimed at the youth on their different backgrounds and communications, as well as you can see different more colors to bring it more alive, to show different backgrounds. And these different forms will also be used in social media of the Cape Church with different colors. As I said, more youthful, and that's also just to show you the different colors why Erica has used them. Okay, now with the branding, and after this, I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions before I continue with the next part. So the branding also spills over. As a pilot committee, communication committee, Erica has also designed new letterheads, and with these new letterheads, I want to encourage the congregations to really contact Erica to get her to help you with the letterheads. I know Erica's helped me with St. Peter's Kumcha's letterhead, and she's done a letterhead also for St. Paul's Bloemfontein. There is space at the bottom of a letterhead for those congregations that have their own logos that can be incorporated. Erica will assist you in this process. Part of the branding is also business cards, as you can see on the slide. Again, there is place, again, for those congregations that have their own logos. Again, there that's Erica's role, to help you to get these business cards designed, and that you then on your cost print them. Another thing with the branding is that there's also an email signature designed for everybody that uses the official emails, for the pastors, for the secretary, and for finance as well. Again, in the email signature, there is space also for those congregations that do have their own logos that are designed. So that is the main branding part that has been redone, and that's also the background that you saw earlier that Erica did for us. And with the branding, just that you please take note, the colors, the sizes, the wording, nothing is allowed to be changed. It's official branding, and we are in the process of copywriting the logo, the name, and also the slogan that gets copyrighted. Should you wish to use like the logo on PowerPoints and that, please also ask Erica to assist you with that. I want to pause here at the slide show at the moment. There are still two furthermore aspects that I want to introduce. But I first want to pause here on the branding and just hear your feedback on the branding as such, if you want to give feedback. Or if you want to ponder, I'll continue. Let's continue. And that brings us to the first edition of the Grace Vine. It was emailed out at 8 o'clock this morning. The Grace Vine is the new official newsletter of the Cape Church that will be sent out on a monthly basis. So let's just go through it. And as you can see, where does the name Grace Vine come from? It comes from our slogan, Grace, and then Vine. It's a playful reminder of the tongue-in-cheek English of hearing things by the grapevine. And so this is the grapevine of the Cape Church, where we want to distribute information and communication. And this communication takes different forms. First of all, the news of the bishop's office. And also what we want to include is different profiles of the congregations with the time. So we might ask you, for example, as St. Crucis, to do a profile of your church that other congregations can get to know you. We want to do profiles on the different pastors, as is in the new newsletter this month. There will be formal announcements. There will be pages that are dedicated to youth matters, then also, as I said, human stories, and then also a dream of ours is to include also good books to read, theological books or just good Christian books to read at home, with book reviews, etc. And the main thing is also at the very back of a newsletter, every time there's a page, what's on. And that's where we want to include whatever's happening in your congregation, whatever Christmas markets, like all the Christmas markets are mentioned at the moment in the new newsletter, as well as some of the other fundraising activities, like Stutterheim's Bazaar, like St. Crucis, who are busy making meat again this month. So it's really about sharing information. The newsletter, the Grace Vine, we decided that it will be electronically, it will not be printed. Here we want to encourage you as congregations, for those in your congregations that don't have access to the electronic media, please to print it out and give it to the congregation members who don't have that electronic means. The aim of the newsletter is not to become a big, thick book. but to have it sweet and short, and also links on which you can click, which will take you to the website if you want to delve in more into certain other matters, where some of the reports or news articles will be longer. So the newsletter, the Gracevine, is meant to be colourful. It's meant to connect us together as a church, that we learn about one another, hear about one another, what is going on in our congregations. And then just a few photos that Erica has put us together to really give us a chance that encourage us to delve into what has been put together. And then, of course, branding also includes a bit of merchandise. And Erica, you shouldn't have done this. I need a coffee cup now. So now you might have to put a new button on the website, a shop button, where people can buy some of these things. You've whet our appetite now. But there again, with branding, if you want to use it on merchandise, that needs to go through Erica and the Office of a Bishop, that we just aware, and that's also for each congregation's own cost. If you want mugs, you're more than welcome to use the logo, but we need to be informed of it, and then it's at your own cost. So if the youth want to create some of these nice sweaters with the logo on the back, it's on their cost. But yeah, Erica will then send the logo, but we just know that where the logo is being used, because there is copyright on it. So that brings us to the end of the second part, the newsletter launch. And that now brings us to the next part of the branding, which entails the web page. That is how the new web page will look like. And if I now zoom in, you'll see the main menus at the top: About Us, Participate, Resources, All New, Contact. Again, with our logo, and then the grapevine that is also present there. And then with the main click buttons: Find a congregation, Watch online, Find a pastor. I just want to run through the next tab, and that's the About page. That will have who we are. It will have an explanation on the logo. It will have an explanation on what we believe. In other words, our Lutheran identity, and also history of the Cape Church with the current number of congregations and pastors employed. That brings us then to the next page that I want to talk about, and that's the Participate page on the web page. The Participate web page really is broken up into the following, that helps people to find a congregation in the different areas where they are in, should they be in the Eastern Cape, the Western Cape, the Free State, or the Northern Cape. And it also will bring up a map, a Google map with live locations where the churches are located. Then there's a function under Participate, Regular Meetups, and this is where we need your input, where regular Bible studies, youth meetings, confirmation classes, all those things are held. Also youth group activities, and we also aim to put links into those congregations that do live streams on their Sunday services, and then also a tab for upcoming events. And Participate, you also see the church has its own, the Cape Lutheran Church has its own social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please make use of those social media channels and share that information that is also posted on there. Then there's also a tab for download the newsletter or subscribe. You can subscribe to the newsletter where it's emailed directly to you every month, or you can download the newsletter. Then there's also a tab contact us. And there we also have photos of who the pastors are. And Gideon, you first there with a big smiley face, and then me, and then Pastor Michael Denner. So it is really to give that the contact information is easily accessible for people. And one last button I want to talk about that Erica didn't highlight here is that of resources. We want that the web page is really accessible and has resources that you need. But that said, getting all those resources is also very time consuming, and you need to tell us what kind of resources you are looking for, and also that if you're willing to help with those resources, to find those resources or know of something, please share it with us, and also ask the pastors to get more involved in the resource part of the web page. Then the last slide that Erica did for us is that, again, you see the little grapevine leaves at the top. Social media, follow, like, and share. You never know when someone who needs a loving community will see your like. And that is true. Erica will also tell you that last year for Christmas, she tried to get all the Christmas service times together of all the congregations and put it on Instagram and onto Facebook. And we had a lot of interaction. We saw it in some of our congregations where people inquired about the services, and Erica could then pass on that information. So with that, it concludes the presentation. And I thank you for your time, and I now open up for a time of discussion, a time of feedback, and we really would like to hear your feedback. Okay, can you see one another now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like to say congratulations to the team. It really is wonderful, very exciting. To everybody that's worked hard at it. Something like that doesn't just pop out of a hat in 1 week. I think that within our congregations, it's exciting to be able to share things like this. So yes, hats off to everybody that's put that in there. It really is a very well thought out change of branding.
I would just like to mention the newsletter. If you want to print it, it's done in a font size to be used on an A4, not on an A4, but on an A5. And that's also more easy to read on your cell phone. And then I sent out a newsletter, and the link in the email itself isn't working. But if you go to the old website, it's still there.
Yeah, maybe just to point out that there will be a few glitches still on the website. It was totally redone, so not everything is quite working as it yet should be working. I know Erica worked till 1 o'clock this morning, and still there's 1 or 2 glitches. So we'll just also have to have a bit of patience there. But please do give feedback that we know what works and what we maybe need to change and what doesn't work. Anybody else?
Yeah, I also just want to agree with Diana and just say it looks really very professional, looks very nice, and I'm sad to leave that. I might need to take Erica along to Namibia.
No, you are not. No, you may stay. You are not taking Erica. You may stay.
No, it looks really great, and I'm really excited about that, and wish you a lot of blessing with this work into the future.
Thank you. Maybe you can call me in a few years' time, and I can do the same for you.
Definitely, thanks.
He first needs to ask permission from Gilbert before he can talk to you. Any further more comments?
Yeah, from me too. It looks great. Great job. Yeah, we're looking forward to participate and share our things. Thank you for the good work.
Thank you, Sybil. Just a reminder to the congregation, please, you sitting here listening to this morning, please send us through your service times when your divine service is on a Sunday. As a matter of urgency to Erica, we do have people that are looking to know when the service times are. It was last week, Gilbert had an encounter with people who were looking for when the services start in Cape Town. So please, can you send those service times that they can be put also on the web page? We can always put underneath that there will be Sundays where they differ, but these are normally the times when the services take place. Because people really use also the website to go and look if all of a sudden they're visiting and they want to go to church. And I just think the website is a very easier tool for all the service times to be on as well. Good
morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Marianne.
Yeah, I think you cannot see me. That has a good reason. but here's my question. First, I like the presentation very much. I like the logo very, very much, and the website. And I wonder, are there plans to switch for the congregations to switch to the same format of website? Because we all look different in the internet, but this could be a possibility to look the same, the same format. Erica, what are your plans?
I think we just got a new website. One can do that, but I think also the congregations themselves would like to have their own identity as well. But if some would like to change our look, then no problem.
That was something that was discussed at length also by the committee. We are aware that each congregation has their own identity, and therefore also we want your website address to link it into this and vice versa. And we hope that with the branding of at least the letters or official documents that get sent out via email with email signatures, and that the congregations will make use of that. The web page design, Erica can assist, but then it is on the congregation's cost. That's not part of her work function into which she's employed at the Cape Church. So I know Zant Martini has made use of Erica to help them to redesign a few things and to make the website look a bit more fresh. So other congregations can make use of Erica. Erica is only employed in the 25% post of media officer, and then there's still another 10% post as secretary to the bishop. So technically she has a bit of free time and if you would like to use her skills, then it's you as a congregation can make contact with her and she can help you with your web pages. But that's your costs.
I think for all the congregations, when we see this beautiful branding, we're going to all look at our branding and go, oh, I think we need a revamp. We're looking a little bit tired around the edges. So I think the congregation that doesn't see the excitement of a new branding as a way to just freshen up themselves and to look at who they are on a piece of paper or out there, well, then they fast asleep. So, I already like thinking, oh, I think St. Crucis looks a bit tired and weary. So, yeah, I'm sure you'll hear from us, Erica.
All the congregations have their own page in our webpage. And the idea also was that each congregation can have all their data on that single page as well. So it could be a mini page in our page as well.
Okay, any further questions?
thanks to all. Just a quick question. What type of information do you have in mind for the resources?
That list is endless. We've talked about that at length. Basically, also, Erica and I have been in discussion. So, for instance, liturgical things. What are the readings for the Sunday? What's the theme for the Sunday? All of that still. We've dreamt about it, but it's a lot of work. Eric and I spoke about it this week. Resources also in the sense of prayers. If a congregation member finds themselves at another congregation member and they need to find a prayer for somebody who's just lost a child, or there's illness in the family, those kind of resources as well. Resources of what is baptism in the Lutheran Church, marriages, what happens when a person dies, all those kind of things still need to be pulled through and be developed. And also resources in the sense of what are good books to read on different topics. I really think the list is endless, and also a discussion that we had is for the preachers that they have a portal where they can access information that they need, or of past notes of preacher courses. So, yeah, I think the list there is endless, and that's where we also need guidance from the congregations, from the church committees, from the pastors. What is needed, and that we can try and make that dream a reality.
And we will also, in future, have resources for music as well. That all takes time.
Okay. Any more questions?
So do we need to send the information for the newsletter for December now? Or how does it, or will Erica contact us, or because you contacted us for November information for the newsletter?
For every month, I will need the events, the upcoming events, not the regular meetups or whatever, but special events coming up like bazaars or concerts at your church, etc.
Okay.
Plan the new newsletter. Yeah, I will contact you and ask you for a specific article or something else. But if you have ideas, please contact me.
So just that you know that the communication committee will meet once a month on a Thursday, and then we'll reflect back on the newsletter and also help Erica with what is going to be the next newsletter. And we're fully aware that the next newsletter might be a bit more fuller because it's Christmas, and we would like to put the Christmas times of the services in at the back of each of the congregations. So, yeah, we need information. Anybody else still want to say something? Gilbert, maybe you or Gideon still want to say something, add something?
No, I think just reiterate what you said earlier. It was a really good, worthwhile exercise, and taking time to prepare it well. And then, yeah, I'm busy with the process of registering the logo and some other aspects of that for copyright. So that will be a legal sort of registration protected by that. Otherwise, let's own it. Let's support Erica, and that she doesn't have to nag, and update our own web pages. I think that's crucial, and make use of the other social media platforms. Thank you. Thanks for the team.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the team.
Yeah, from my side also, I'm really excited. Everything looks very good and refreshing. So thank you. It was wonderful working in this team, and thank you, HP, leading us, and Erica for all the hard work, and even last night still until very late. She tried to prepare everything. I just want to ask exactly when will this newsletter appear every month? Is there a specific date that we set, and when should things be in for that newsletter, articles, etc.? And then just to inform you, this committee is still also working on a proper communication policy, because we need guidance on how to communicate. Communication can also be dangerous in this time of untruth and whatever. So how to communicate ethically, some guidelines, we're working on that. We did a lot of work already, and we also are working on information, how to conserve the archival information of our churches, because our history is also important and we want to attend to that. So there's still a lot of exciting work ahead. But can you just help us and make us understand what dates are we speaking of?
Okay. Erica, you need to come in here, but the discussion was that on the first Thursday of the month, the communication team meets, and then on the last Thursday of the month, the newsletter will be sent out before the weekend, in other words. And Erica, you need to tell us when the deadline is, what your thinking is.
The editorial deadline, I think, would be 10 days before that.
Yes. Okay, and Erica's the boss there. She will boss you around if you not have your articles in on time, and she will hound you. That's her brief from the communication team. But Erica is the editor of the newsletter, so if she requests information, please send it to her. Us as pastors included.
Like to say thank you to Leon. He really put in a lot of work for the communication policy. He's got a lot of knowledge from previous experience, and we really appreciate that, Leon. And Anya, also for you, your input for the Lutheran identity. You can all go and have a look at her, her in detail. These people she put in there on the website. Thank you.
Yeah,
Back to you.
People
Thank
can,
you, Erica.
yeah. Anya, people can snack on it. If they go and look there, they'll understand what we mean with snack on the Lutheran identity. So maybe just to make you want to go and look and read at the Lutheran identity, there's a snack there that you can snack on the theology, what Anya has put there together. Thanks to Erica for that little snack that she put in there. Okay, I think that concludes our meeting, our Zoom celebration this morning. Please, my request to you is, the email has gone out with the newsletter to everybody that was on the list. If you haven't received it, please contact Erica, then she'll send it to you. Please distribute it in your congregations via WhatsApp, via emails, so that we really can build this wonderful adventure that we are on, to remind us that we are one church, that it's not the Cape Church, but that we are part of Christ's body, that we belong to the bigger body, the Cape Lutheran Church. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us this morning. I wish you a blessed day. Before we go, let us just close in prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we gather here this morning, and Lord, I just want to give a big thank you to you as well for being present with us through this whole process of discerning about the branding, the new look, and also for leading us where we are today. Lord, thank you for your guidance through this whole process. Thank you that we may know that this is your church and that you lead and guide us. Lord, I ask that you bless Erica in her new position as media officer and also secretary of a bishop. Lord, I ask that you give her the wisdom also to do this work. Lord, I pray for all the congregations. Lord, I pray that you will continue to bless them so that we may spread the hope of your word there where you have placed us. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you, and I wish you a blessed day.